Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Get Your Paint On this Thursday, September 12th. I'm joined in the studio with Will Hungerford.
Hello.
And Tony Konachek.
Good morning.
It's a pretty normal morning. This morning, we got a couple things to talk about, and then we can get into our stream. Subscriptions, first things first. We've got some new Twitch subscription stuff, which Hungerford's going to talk about.
Yes, I will. That was the best handoff I've ever heard.
Segway.
So yes, we have just recently, and when I say just recently, I literally mean a couple days ago, turned on subscriptions for our Twitch channel. So we're just getting started with this. It's something that people have been asking for quite some time, and we've got a lot of exciting ideas of things we want to do with this. But to start, one of the most requested things is special emojis. Mm-hmm. So we've got 6 available right now, and as we get more subscriptions, we're going to add more and more. We may even look to some of the subscribers for ideas for some of the new emojis we might put out there. But right now,
I have a fantastic one.
Yeah?
It just popped in my head.
Do you want to say it?
Yeah, we need a paint splat emoji.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Like our paint splat emoji. Yeah,
I'm into it. Well, speaking of painting, right now you can get the Formula P3 logo. You can get Chibi Omodemos, Chibi Defender X, Chibi Gorgadra. You can get Gubbin's face, and the unofficial official mascot of all Privateer Press streams. You can get Hamilton's face.
And if you want more, we need you to subscribe.
Yes,
because right now these are the emotes that we can have. And we need more subscriptions to be able to offer more of those to you.
And it's a good time because it is September right now on Twitch. So I believe until September 24th, subs are half off. So you can get them for $2.50.
$2.50.
If you're thinking about subbing, please do. And we got some exciting, cool stuff we plan on doing with it. Jordan, back to you.
Oh, definitely. Back to me. We've got the stream schedule. Wednesdays, 10 a.m. We've got Dev Hangout. Get Your Paint On Thursdays. You guys know where you're at. Staff Showdown, October 1st. Do we have any information on who is doing
We don't have
what
players. I believe we're doing a Riot Quest on that
exciting.
day. Yeah.
And then September 13th, we got Hobby Hangout. That's tomorrow. That's with Brian, I think.
That's Brian McLaughlin, one of
Perfect.
our production guys.
Have we talked about what that is yet?
He's going to be cleaning, kind of talking a little more about how to do really tight cleanups on resin models.
Right on. Cool. Well, that's the stream schedule as it exists currently. We'll keep you guys updated every week when we come to the stream. Next thing, we've got the Hobby and Terrain blog. So this is the Hobby and Terrain blog that is operated by Danny, who's our terrain specialist here at the that guy right there. Can't really see his face because he's doing Danny things. But he updates us very frequently with photos of projects that he's working on. It's a little slowed down since we're in the middle of this move. We did update it the other day with the terrain feature that he built last week, I believe it was, on his hobby show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan, you sure you want to do the announcements?
It's been a rough morning, okay? I need a little bit of... I barely had any caffeine in my system. All right, let's move on to Mini Crate. We've got Brew Bear, Transfer Dancer. These things have not changed since last time we talked. Things that have changed, we have Sawa Tadaka, who's a new model for the L5R Mini Crate, and then Shosuro Sadako, who is still the VIP subscription.
Yeah, Asawa was the Phoenix Clan, not the champion. What is their name? He's from the Phoenix Clan, but it's like he's like crazy powerful, and I don't want to because all the ones have been champions, and I can't remember the title yet. Like
I don't know.
I don't think all of them have
I
been
can't help you
champions.
out with that.
yeah, but he's cool. Phoenix Clan is cool.
Heck yeah. Speaking about another cool model, we've got Belit, I believe this is.
Yep.
Which is our new October model for Savage Mini Crate, which is available through October 12th. And then King Conan, which is the VIP mini for the Savage Mini Crate.
I think this is also everyone's first look at the Belit model.
Is it? No, I think it was in. I think
Did we
it was
have it at Gen Con?
Yeah, we had
okay.
it at Gen Con.
And I think we did preview it at Lock and Load.
Did we? Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
And then, now we can get to painting.
Today's big boy.
Today's big boy.
From Riot Quest for the beginning of Wave 2. The model's coming out in October. He marks the start of Wave 2 of the Riot Quest models, which runs from October to December. We see 9 new heroes, two maps, one of which is new. and 2 big expansion boxes, spawn gates and treasure chests. But good old Butcher, in this post-apocalyptic Saturday morning cartoon, Orsus the Chained, is finally here. And as you can see, there's not much left of his Warcaster armor.
Oh, no.
Can you, Jordan? Do you mind spinning him around a little bit? Because
Yeah,
he's got some cool chains that go from his fell axe all the way up to his collar. So he is.
Well, not to his collar.
Is it not to his collar?
To his wrist, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it went all the way up.
Nope.
Good morning, everybody on Twitch and Facebook. Good morning, Alex, saying
Good
hello.
morning.
Good morning.
Thank you very much to, well, would you mind scrolling up 1 second, Tony, on the Twitch? I saw a sub pop by. Darth Arcana gave us a tier 1 sub. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for your subscription. Enjoy the emotes. The Hamilton emote's amazing. I'm so glad we did that. Because Hamilton is...
I was very excited
best
for Hamilton.
So we got a couple questions in chat, but let's get to the first important one. Quasar on Twitch asks you, Jordan, are you painting skin?
I am painting skin.
So let us know what's going on.
Yeah, so we got a little bit of Midland Flesh mixed with a little bit of Kato Red base mixed with a couple dots of brown ink. I don't have Cossite Flesh here in the studio right now because I didn't get a chance to pull it from my desk, and the paint racks are in all sorts of disarray at the current moment since we're literally in the middle of taking things from where they normally are to where they will be.
Yeah, we are like literally, even in this studio right now, we are sitting amongst boxes that are being prepped. So as soon as we're done broadcasting this week, everything can get packed up. So it is chaos around here.
Which is an important thing to note. We're not streaming next week, as the majority of the actual move will be happening. So no streams at all next week, but we'll be back to normal right after that.
Yup.
Jordan, what ink are you using again?
This is brown ink.
Brown ink.
Yeah, so basically the Kato Red base was to add a little bit of warmth to the skin tone because, like I said, I don't have the right skin tone that I wanted to start with here.
What skin tone are you going for? Like overall, like what are you going for? A darker skin tone, lighter?
I'm going for kind of the more natural, like Kador skin tone, which is a little bit warmer in tone than a lot of the other skin tones that we usually do.
He's like screaming for some sort of like jolly bare-chested Santa belly. Just like he'd be a happy dude.
The Butcher's not a happy dude.
Well, he's not happy, but his belly can be full of joy.
His belly is probably full of rage.
So this brighter color that I'm putting in the center is just Midland Flesh, by the way.
So a couple questions. Zenithal shaded primer.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just black with a white primer right over it.
Dork Jedi says, "Are we moving to a bigger space? We are definitely moving to a different space." Victor Live on Twitch wants to know, who is a subscriber. Hey, Victor Live, thank you. What's on his belt on the right-hand side? Does he still have the dog horn? I believe it's his drinking horn, but he's talking about...
It is a horn of some kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like a drinking horn.
Yeah, that is his...
Piece right there.
His drinking horn. His dog horn drinking... It used to be a dog horn. It's a drinking horn now.
Is that new cannon from Hartford right there?
I'm just saying, like... Killing people's hard work. Work up a deep thirst.
Jeremy Patterson says the Butcher is filled with rage and pierogies, and I don't appreciate this comment because now I want pierogies, and as far as I know, none around here.
No.
So just kind of trying to blend this skin tone together here, since I started with the darker skin tone base coat, and I put the kind of highlight in the middle already.
Yeah.
So I'm just working it from both sides, just trying to get it to the appropriate shade.
Cool. Well, while you're getting that, we'll hit a couple questions for you. Alec Luda says, so what if it's a what if question for us. If someone was able to bring Lola back from the dead, would she claim Orsus's insanity? I know the leader of the Strange Light Society ventured into Arcane in hopes of returning his wife and daughter back to life.
I'm gonna give him my take.
Yeah,
because I don't know that Lola coming back would cure his insanity.
No, he's gone.
Like he's done. He is insane. Now, her coming back might distract and calm him, much as like putting a maniacal crazy person who is violent and dangerous in an enclosed space where they couldn't escape and cause damage might, right? Like just simply just keep him contained. But he would still be crazy.
Like the dev office.
Yes.
Okay.
Good example. We do have to let you run around every now and again just for some exercise and air.
I think if Lola came back magically, he probably wouldn't believe it. He'd probably think it was a trick.
Oh,
and he'd
yeah.
probably flip out harder.
Well, he already sees her in visions and things,
who
even though
knows
she's gone.
who
So
knows
he
what
probably maybe it's no different for him. He's just like she's all around anyway.
At
I'm
this
just crazy.
point, he just sees like Hamilton's flying around. Like for all we know, like the dude is bat poop crazy.
I like the idea that he sees Hamilton's running around.
Earlier, there's a question, Riot Quest related question of will there be another starter box with 5 different heroes? I can only talk about the stuff that we've announced up through December right now, which is the end of Wave 2. So there is no other opening crew box, but gosh golly, that sure does sound like a good idea. Mm-hmm. But I can't give you any sort of details right now.
So the nice thing about kind of doing this 2 base coat thing that I'm doing here, which is like put in the shade and then put in the highlight and kind of like blend them together, is it makes base coating and highlights and shadows go really fast. Like this belly is pretty far along for having worked on it for
a minute, 2 minutes,
a few minutes, yeah.
See some comparisons to Lola coming back and getting a sun's getting real low kind of moment. I think it'd be more like sun's out. Like
This sun never sets.
yeah. Besides, the whole sun's getting real low thing, he still stole a plane. Ended up on an alien world, so we only really saw that work once.
It's like, is it really even that effective?
It worked. I mean, it worked the one time, and working one time is pretty effective. But then after that, he was kind of like, I mean, it's the Hulk. He's going to do what he wants, man.
He's going to do what he wants.
Ain't nobody going to tell him what to do.
This is just a little bit more brown ink.
Zulaman, thank you very much for the subscription via Twitch Prime. We appreciate you.
Heck yeah.
Can I woo every time? We did Hamilton honks and
We need something,
and then we
man.
did call outs.
I think we need paint splat sounds whenever that
We
happens.
need-
We'll figure it out after the move.
We can either be annoying.
We're not packing
right?
boxes.
We could have like air horns,
Uh-huh.
like, wah, 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 wah.
Yeah.
But I think what we need is like an old school GeoCities style dancing pig that comes
Oh
up,
my goodness.
and a
Dancing
little
pig.
cheer sound goes off.
Peanut butter jelly time.
Yeah, like that kind of look,
Okay.
right? And a little cheer sound goes out, like very old school 1990s, like VGA PC game style
Oh,
cheer.
yeah, okay.
Like PC speaker cheer.
Ooh.
And then the person's name just pops up on screen. That's all like super doable.
Cool. That's Alec, I'm the original woo girl.
Yeah, Alec M. Luda on Facebook saying Tony is now a woo girl. Dude, you have no idea.
I also, if you ever meet me in real life at a con, lock and load, anything like that, I love high fives. I still do.
Yeah, you'll know him because he's the one in the limo coming out of the sunroof with a tiny cowboy hat on,
Oh my goodness.
wooing at the top of his lungs. A tiny white bedazzled cowboy hat. And just Chumbawamba is blaring from inside the limo.
So what?
How's that skin going, Jordan?
So is this just still a layer of the same, or have you changed up your mix at all?
So I've on the palette cam. So right here is kind of that just straight Midland flesh skin tone. Here's that mix of Cater Red base, Midland flesh, and a little bit of brown ink, and then here's brown ink with a little bit of Midland flesh. So
So you just kind of added a little bit of the ink to that first
Yeah.
mix, made it a
Yep.
little darker.
Yep.
What palette paper are you using?
So this is just parchment paper. My other paper is all packed up right now.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to dig it all out and
Sure, yeah.
grab. Plus, it takes about 15 minutes to prep that paper. This takes all of 15 seconds to rip it out of the thing and stick it on my palette. So we're doing that.
Cool.
It's just easy. I am
Skin's looking real good.
Thank you. I'm going to take a little bit of Crixbane base and mix it in with a little bit of brown ink.
This is for shading the muscles?
Yeah.
So a little Crixbane base and some, you said brown ink?
Yeah. So one of the things I want to do is I want to kind of cut some of this this warmth and this redness out of the skin.
Mm-hmm.
And a really good way to do that is to add green to your skin tones. So let's see here. It's a good place to do this.
What about?
Do some deep shades down here first.
Okay. Because I was going to say he's got those really well defined pecs over his bulbous stomach.
Yep.
And I was like,
that's not a good place for it because
really?
Yeah, it's not enough shadowed area.
Okay.
Like I might go in there with a glaze here in a second to add a little bit of that color. Like, here's a good place to see it kind of.
So you're doing the deep shadows.
Yeah.
So you're gonna use something different for like the bicep definition and the pec definition.
So I'll use the same color, but it'll be more of a glaze than an actual like blended.
Cool.
So, Jeremy Patterson. So, will we see Orsus's RQ card, his Riot Quest card, on the stream?
Yep.
Funny you mentioned that.
We'll bring it up later. We actually, on the dev chat yesterday, showed off the RQ cards for Orsus, Wolf, and why can't my words work? Crawtooth, as well as the gear cards coming in each of their blisters. But we will show off not only Orsus's Riot Quest card here in a bit, but the full illustration of him.
The full body
Because
illustration.
the card just has the portrait illustration where you see part of him, but we're going to show you top head to toe the awesome cartoon cartoon style illustration of what it looks like.
I look at this model and it's the same on the art, but this is a man who is happy to just have freed that his girth and his belly. He's just out there.
He's been sucking it in for decades.
It's just been holding it in, right? Like it's not even just the big belly, but he's like, oh, it's out here.
Yeah. Coyote BD on Twitch has a little bit of news for you, Jordan. It says, Stay Wet has changed their instructions. You can now run hot water over the paper for 1 minute instead of soaking for 10.
Interesting.
So, heads up.
All right. I'll try that out and see how it goes.
So when you get around to doing the faces on the fell axe, what are you thinking for the colors there? Traditional or going in a different direction?
Let's go traditional. This is actually a really good time to pull up the concept art.
Okay.
Concept art or
the illustration. It's basically one and the same.
Well, there we go. There is your top-down look of all of Orsus and his glory. He takes up a lot of real estate. And we talked about the rules in depth on the dev chat yesterday, but the main thing about this boy is that when he attacks somebody, not only does he hit who he's attacking in melee, but you roll the dice once and you compare the results to everyone adjacent to him as well, friend or foe. And so he hits every hex around him in the sort of a 360. You can do cool stuff like give him the telescoping blades, which gives him range 3 on Fellola. So you can reach out and hit somebody 3 spaces away and then still berserk all the adjacent spaces next to him. Not to mention he's stamina 4, and every point of damage on him, he gets 1 extra red die on his attacks. So he can go up there and roll. Like, it's very legitimately easy to roll 3 blues and 3 reds on 1 attack.
He gets all the power dice in the world.
This guy's terrifying.
Yeah, he is terrifying. He's easy to hit, and you need to take him out, because if you don't, he's going to run up there and murder everybody. You look at someone like Bella, though. Bella's a missile. Bella does a ton of damage, but she's a little bit more defensive, a little bit harder to kill, and she can actually has some movement tricks or movement control in that if you try and run away from her, she just auto damages you. So, she's also a fighter. Orsus is like melee AoE damage, right? Like
Right.
that's what he does. Whereas Bella is like board control and being a missile. And Crawtooth, the third fighter people have seen, is like moving enemies where you want them and also just being super tanky because he can heal himself.
I'm so excited to use this guy in games.
He is a lot of fun.
That stitching is not up to code.
No, just look at the one higher up. It's like they didn't even try.
Just like got one stitch in there to
I
hold
feel like at that
together.
point you're just like, look, maybe he didn't let him finish.
Can you imagine the person being you're the guy that had to chain the fell axe or fell Lola onto Butcher because it's got all that manacle on it, right? Mm-hmm. And so like be like, all right, I want you to take this axe that probably a warjack is needed to carry it, and then just clamp it on this dude, and make sure you eat the key beforehand because he's going to kill you.
But he only sleeps for 10 minutes a day, so now's your window.
Now's your window. Go get it.
Cool. So kind of going on to that green, right? So if I were to try and replicate exactly what that looks like, I would paint the faces in metal, and then I would put together like a really thin wash of like I was in plus worm green, and then I'd probably just lay that into all the recesses so that you still see some of that metallic coming through, and the recesses are all that like kind of glowy green, which is very similar to what that color concept is.
Okay, so just to be clear, you would not be glazing the entire face. You would just be like spot putting that
So like
color
for
just down in
example,
the recesses only.
I'd be doing something to the effect of like this, right? So I'd be going around all the individual faces.
I really like the sculpt of the big face in the middle of the haft because it's cartoony Orgoth, right? Instead of this big like human screaming face, it has this sort of like, I don't know, Halloween vibe to it.
Just kind of a, just a simple iconography. Big, powerful, bold image.
Now, talk about this guy being Saturday morning cartoon like all the Riot Quest stuff is. Now, he is wearing skulls on his belt.
Sure.
That is a real thing. And he still has his Kador belt buckle.
Well, you still got to represent.
Even though Kador's just not a thing in the RQ timeline. Maybe there's some holdouts.
Maybe he's just like, this is the only belt buckle that works. Otherwise, it's just
It's like I don't
no
have
pants
any other
for
belts
days.
that fit. And this thing is
Oh,
attached
man.
to me.
Taking your trousers off when you're chained to an axe that big,
Oh my!
I didn't even
goodness.
think about that.
That's got to be obnoxious.
Yeah, like going to the bathroom must be very hard. And your other hand's covered in a gauntlet, which also pretty hard to get off, I would imagine.
Yeah, well, he can let go of the axe. Like, he can just lay it down.
Yeah, but the axe is attached to his wrist.
Well, right, but he still has a free hand, so he could remove a gauntlet.
I'm sorry, I just noticed the butt flap in the back of the pants. He's all right.
Oh, yeah, there we
He's
go.
covered.
He got butt flap.
Yeah, he's good. They thought about this before they chained him to a fell axe. The engineers designed the butcher's butt flap so that he could make it. Whew. This is a messed up cartoon.
So I got a
Some squeakiness.
I got a question about the fell blade.
Yeah.
Fell blades and this fell axe. Can he put it down and then it just like, does it just drive him mad, or is there some sort of draw for people who hold fell weapons that like they either can't let them go or they have to go pick them up again at some point?
It depends on how the madness manifests in you. It is not like magnetically gripped onto your hand or anything like that. So I imagine like at some point when he sleeps, he probably drops it.
Right.
Like but who knows? He might be sleeping like cuddled up next to it.
But like, do you get uncomfortable if you like, go away for the weekend and you miss the fell blade and like you want to get back early
I mean, he can't
to pick it back up again, or
well, he never goes away for the weekend. It's there. Like even when he's walking and not holding, it's just dragging in the mud behind him. Rowan Jeremiah Bauer on Facebook says that skin looks fantastic.
It's real easy to do. It's a lot of just like this is basically just 3 or 4 colors, and it's just picking the points with which you want illuminated or highlighted, and then just getting this like nice smooth gradient, which is just a lot of like wet layers of the skin tones kind of mixed together. Like I didn't really 2-brush blend a lot of this together. This is a lot of just kind of wetly blending the 2 colors together. I 2-brush blended the shade in because I did that after I put in the like mid-tone and then the like first shade, which is this like reddish color right here on his shoulder, right? I don't know if you can see that super well. It's this color. It's like reddish tone, right? But once you kind of throw that in there, it's just a lot of like, and honestly, his skin is really nice. Like the sculpt itself makes painting the skin really easy because it's the muscles are super well defined. Like you don't have to like paint in muscles where there's no muscles sculpted.
But still, he has a big round belly with not, by definition, doesn't have a lot of definition in it. So
right.
I think a lot of people are seeing that and being like, oh, I could do this because big round smooth areas are hard to highlight for most people.
Yeah, I think a good way to do that is kind of don't over highlight. Like when I look at like this much skin, I always like to add a lot of color into like warmth and dark coming up here. Have it kind of be like a darker atmosphere just so that you get more color. And then I like to have the mid-tone kind of just be this like center area right here and then like just the top part of the pecs right here. And the light source is coming from where his gauntlet is basically. So like imagine that this was further out, right? That's kind of the general direction where the light source is coming from. So this part of his face is going to be illuminated. But as you can see, this part of his face is pretty dark back here. And that's also why like there's a lot of deep shade on this side. Mm-hmm. And this side is covered by his arm, right? So there's going to be more shadow down here. But this area right here is all pretty bright. So it's thinking about like your light source and and where you want those colors to be at.
Couple questions for you. Striker 911 wants to know how many pieces is he?
He is. The arm is 1 piece, or this arm is 1 piece. This shoulder, I think, is like this arm. I think is separate. And that's it.
So the whole body. So
like,
basically, the head body. The head's not a separate piece.
No.
Okay.
No. Like I think this guy is like literally 2 or 3 pieces.
Thomas Grable says he would look good with a fresh bruise or 2, which actually I was thinking a similar thing, wondering what it would look like, how I might paint some sort of like, I don't know, varicose vein or something from like, like kind of a blight or corruption from the fell axe. So if you were going to paint some bruises or do some like kind of corrupted skin like that, just, under the shoulders or something, what would you do?
I think like a good place to do that would be like having his like fist and his arm getting corrupted from the fell axe would be really cool.
Sure.
The question is like, what color do we want to do that corruption in, right? So I don't know if Stream wants to give us some suggestions on what color we want to do that.
Let's hear from our subs. For those of you that have subbed, let us know what you want to see. Would you rather see the corrupted like work on the hand? Would you rather see him work on the scarring on the skin? Because that's another. We're kind of talking about skin today, and he's got the big scars and how to paint those. Or throw out some other ideas you might have. So if you're subbed on Twitch, throw out some ideas, and we'll see which one Jordan's up for.
Alex Kohler says, give him a prison tat, which is a good idea and makes me think of we actually have a video on how to paint tattoos, which I will post the link to in the chat shortly.
we're gonna give chat a little bit longer to keep up some ideas,
I'll
and
just,
then
I'll just work on some of this.
yep, and then Tony's
shading
getting
now.
that link added, and as soon as he does that. So, Jordan, the things we're mainly seeing here, and I kind of let you decide which one you're up for, is I think people are either interested in seeing this how you're going to paint the scars on the belly to make them look, as natural as you want them to look, or a couple people have asked about tattoos, and that's kind of up if you're in the mood to do a.
Yeah, I mean, we could definitely do like a cool tattoo,
So both Vandebeest and Stryker.
or a little bit of both. Like the doing the like pink scars won't be too bad.
Yeah, so like Dragon Pup and Zulamon, both of whom are subs, said they want to see scars and bruises. Like Vandebeest and Stryker, both of who are subs, said like an I Heart Lola tattoo on his belly could be cool. So seems like that's what people are kind of wanting to see.
Sure.
So whichever you're in the mood for, man.
I mean, I think we definitely have time to do both of those things. Let me just do a couple of things here to finish off this hand.
And then we can go, when you're done with that hand, we can take a look at some P3 painters.
Yes, we
Be a
can.
nice break, and then we can get to doing scars, bruises, or tattoos.
Yeah, the classic mom heart tattoo, right?
So now, is this just straight Midland flesh, or is this part of your original
Yeah,
mix?
this is still Midland flesh.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't gotten any higher than that right now.
But is this still the original mix with brown ink and Kador red
No,
base?
this is just straight. Midland
straight
flesh,
up.
Yeah.
Straight up now, tell me, do you really? Ex Lumberjack just subscribed on Twitch Prime. Ex Lumberjack, whatever you're doing nowadays, I hope your job is as equally enjoyable as being a lumberjack. Because being a lumberjack's got to be fun, right? Just go out in the wilderness with an axe and destroy things.
I guess so, yeah. That sounds very appropriate for today's stream.
Yeah.
That's where you're going, wasn't it?
Yeah.
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 And I jumped on and pointed it out like it wasn't already obvious.
Yeah, no, you're good, Tony.
Okay.
I love you.
Good. No, I love it. I love explaining it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're good at this. Rabid Monkey says an old English style is the word Lola across his belly, like biker style, up and over the. Wow, yeah, no, he totally does have the body for that kind of tattoo.
That like biker style.
Yeah, like just the old English letters. Riot Quest.
Jeremy Patterson, in honor of Offspring, he should have a 31 tat. I like the reference. I think if Butcher asked for 13 and they did a 31, it would be changed to a 13, and you'd have a severely destroyed tattoo artist.
Man,
I don't think you're getting out of that doing it incorrectly.
Rowan says, will this Butcher be a Butcher Force solo? So in Riot Quest, all the heroes are just individual heroes that have their own unique rules. We showed the stat card earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But all of the Riot Quest heroes, we're also designing rules for them in War Machine and Hordes. This one in particular is going to be a Kador Doom Reaver solo. So he's no longer a Warcaster. His armor's been destroyed. He's also going completely bat poop crazy. So he is just a big old killing machine. And turns out in Riot Quest, he's also a big old killing machine.
In true Butcher fashion.
So you've gone darker on this one. What have you added to the mix? Or is this
This is just mixing together the mixes that I had before. So this is taking that like deep shadow brown ink plus Crixbane base and mixing it into the Cater red base brown ink Midland flush mix.
Brett Maurer asks, when is the model release? It's coming out in October. It is one of the 3 models that kicks off Wave 2 of Riot Quest. Vanderbeest says you need to green stuff a bandage over his belly button so he looks like King Hippo. Wait a second.
that just telegraphs where your weak spot is. Don't do that.
I just realized how young Jordan is. Jordan, do you know who King Hippo is?
No.
Man. King Hippo was one of the people you fought in the original Mike Tyson's Punch-Out on Nintendo. He made appearances in other Punch-Outs as well and was usually the first showstopper for most people because he had a trick to beating him Unlike all the other ones, you could kind of fight up into that point kind of regularly. You had to punch him in the mouth when he opened it, when he went for the overhand, and then his belly button would be exposed.
Then his gloved fist would go up to his hand because you
punch him in the mouth.
You punch him in the mouth.
And you had to whack him in his belly button, which was covered in a Band-Aid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You should play Punch-Out. It's still an amazing game.
It's amazing.
All right, so let's do some P3 painters, and then we'll come back and we'll do scars, and then we'll do a tattoo.
Oh, here we go. P3 painters, and tell people what P3 painters are if they are not familiar.
Yeah, so for those of you who are not familiar, P3 painters is basically a place where we have gathered together all of our community paint jobs that people can submit and have us take a look at and have everybody else take a look at. And we typically pick a couple of them on stream and look them over and talk about what we liked about them. And yeah, it's a cool way for us to kind of be featured, or to have you guys featured on the stream if you have something cool in your paint job that we want to talk about, or just to kind of show off cool stuff that you're excited about. So just hashtag P3 Painters. We have it on Instagram, Twitch, and Facebook. So we do check all of them. But yeah, so let's take a look at that.
All right.
First one, Tony.
Here's our first one. We got this Zadaroth.
So there's a couple things I really like about this. I really like this like teal color on the little like weird octopus guy on the base. I think it contrasts really well with that orange like foliage that's down there too. It's a good way to like draw your eye down from the like desaturated tones in the skin and the like black cloth to the base, because there's a lot going on this model, and having your eye travel around the model is a really good way to kind of show off all the cool elements of it.
Yeah, I like this one too. I like that the scroll cases aren't a form of metal. They're like either clay or terracotta or bone or something like that.
Is the infernal symbol sculpted into the book, or is that something they freehanded?
I think that's just freehand. It doesn't look like the infernal symbol.
It
might be.
That was another thing that you pointed out, Jordan. Let me see if I can.
Oh yeah, are there glowing runes inside the book?
Yes.
Man, you can see them light up as the light hits them. That's very nice.
Yeah. It's one of the things I love about this model is like you have such a nice little bit of canvas in there to just kind of do some sweet freehand stuff.
Yeah.
And the book's like pretty large, so it's not terribly difficult to get in there and like do stuff. But
Rio in 82.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Let's move on to
our next one. So this one's kind of a compilation shot.
So this is really cool. I really like this like dark, undead, like kind of desaturated tone that this army's got. I like that it all matches. Like that's a big thing that I'm really like a big fan of.
It looks
and
very
this
cohesive.
Red, like, pops, yeah.
Mm-hmm. We have some close-up shots of any of the models there.
Yeah, there's all sorts of.
You can see like the skin. The skin's kind of this purplish skin color.
Yeah.
A lot of the models have red eyes. So like I just like this on kind of a more of a thematic take for a trencher army or for a Signar army.
This is the first model. Like the other ones, I was kind of getting what they were going for, but this is the first model I really see what they're going for, and I think it's because the skin and the eyes are really prominent on the close up here.
Yeah,
that model's really cool. That's like the second model I ever painted for the studio. Bastion.
Yeah, I think they're going for like vampire Signar.
That's what I was thinking before too. Yeah,
we were trying to like talk about it a little bit before, and yeah, it's kind of what we saw, but it's really cool, and it's really well done too. Like, and this is the thing that I appreciate is that the army looks good from afar, but when you pick up the individual models, they also look really nice.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Very cool. And this is from Aosol.
Well done.
Well
played.
Well played.
Okay, and one more.
And we got this sweet conversion.
MKV Markaz.
This is cool. There's a lot going on here. I like this base. I like that it's like traveling over like a little bridge.
Is this a siege chariot Resnick?
Yes.
Yeah. What's up?
Yes.
What's up? That looks. I need to see more shots. Like my brain is trying to process what I'm seeing right now.
I can't remember if there's a close up, but right here on the back there is a rack that is hanging, and it looks like Resnick is grabbing one of the rack weights on the chain that is attached to the person being rack's neck and yanking on it like that's some sort of steering device.
Yeah.
For the chariot.
Protector's real messed up like that.
It's pretty messed up like that. Yeah, I like that it's you get that nice little view. It's a good shot.
Yeah, the paint
and
quality.
Nice work on the base too, making that bridge and adding water feature to it.
I also love that their arc marking is a flame that fades away on the base. That's such a beautiful little touch.
I love like arcs that have a little bit more love given to them than just the line, right? Like lines are great. It's good for gameplay, but I do like that like nice little extra touch.
I think it's goes with everything. Even that rim of the base is still a consideration for the whole model, right? Like it's still one piece.
Right.
Do we have any more angles on this thing? Or
No, that's it. Just
I really want to see more angles on this thing. Like I want to see it from the other side. Because I feel like
I also think there's a light. It looks like there's a light warjack.
Yeah, that's
right here.
That's
He's got light warjack shoulder pads.
Yes.
That's it. I don't know. Like Resnick's pretty big, if I recall. Like, and Protectorate shoulder pads are pretty massive. So
yeah, I definitely would want to see. I want to see some more angles on this. And I think I just need to see an angle from literally the other side to get a full feel of what's happening here.
Right.
It looks beautiful. I'm personally a little confused by what's going on the actual back.
Yeah,
and that's just because I don't have enough of a view of being able to distinguish all the parts.
MKV Marcos, post some close-up photos so that we can review them later and see more of your amazing work.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I want to see more.
Oh, the other thing I just kind of like, I saw before but didn't really see. I like the like scorched, like tip of the gun. Like I always like that as an added, like little touch. Just helps develop like a story. Right?
Yeah, I think it looks great. It has a nice little narrative all packed into one miniature.
All right. That's all we have for P3 Painters today. Again, if you're a painter, send in your photos. Hashtag P3 Painters. We take a look at everything, and even though we typically only show off 3, sometimes 4, there are many more we see that we think look awesome. We just got to choose a handful to show off each week. All right, Jordan. So now you are going to be moving into. Did you decide whether you were going to do bruises or scars or what's going on?
I think I'm going to try and do both. So we'll do the scars, or I think I was going to do this scar and then I'll do like a tattoo or something. So one of the things about the scars like generally tend to be like a highlight point for the model. So I'm going to take a little bit of Rin flesh plus the Midland flesh. And actually, before I do this, that's like the second step. We're going to take this shade color with a little bit more red. And we're going to like line the underside of this thing.
Okay, so you're not actually painting the whole surface of that part of the X.
Right. Just kind of shading it to define that, like, the sculpt that's in there, right? So you can see this, like, underside that's really defined. Get a little bit above. Then get this right-hand side. And it's okay if you get a little bit on the scar itself, because we're going to go back and highlight that in just a second. I'm going to add a little bit more Cato Red base to this, because I want it to be like a freshly healed, so it's a little bit more pink scar.
And is this mostly about making it look more three-dimensional, or are you then going to do some sort of color shift to it after the fact?
No, I'm not doing any color shift. So this is the color shift that I'm doing right here, right? So
Okay.
I'm adding more redness because the skin's been beat up. Like when you have a scar, it tends to be a little bit more pink than the surrounding flesh. So I'm exaggerating that because it's a pretty soft, like it's not super raised. So we want to like make sure that we pull that out a little bit by using this like different color, like creating more contrast by using different color and like darkening the like shadowed parts of it.
Okay.
All right, so that's pretty okay. Let me get a little bit of midland flesh. I'm gonna clean up some of the surrounding area here.
I don't think I've ever tried painting a scar on anything, so I'm just kind of paying attention.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm really like a lot of times I'm like bouncing back and forth between the chat, joking around with you, but now I'm like locked in on
this content. No pressure, Jordan.
So then we're gonna highlight the raised bit, right?
Is this still with midland flesh?
Yeah.
Cool.
But this is without all the red mixed in, right?
Correct. Yes. This is just to pick out the raised part.
And then we hit the whole thing with a bright green wash.
Sure, why not?
Like,
why? We're going to take this highlight color, which has got the Rin flesh in it. Oh, that's way too watery. And you know what? We can even just take straight Rin flesh.
Ooh.
Skip
Rin flesh.
Skip the intermediary color.
I almost said Rin fresh.
Rin fresh?
Yeah, like it sounds like a drink. It's Rin fresh.
I want to see Jordan. So what I want to get to is I want to talk about bruising because I have our new bad bruise color. Mm-hmm. And really what I want you to tell me is that is a great color to use for bruising.
Oh,
is that
totally.
okay?
Yeah.
I mean, it's got it in the name, but that's not always exactly what colors are always good for.
If you want to see a bruise, we can get a bruise.
I want to see it. I want to see a bruise.
So for people kind of following along on how to do the scar, are you done with the scar now?
Yeah,
or?
The scar's done.
See, that was super simple.
Yeah,
So
there's not a lot to it. You're using the same skin tone colors, but you're just adding like a little bit more warmth. So you add a little bit more red to like the shadow bit to kind of define and redden that area. Mm-hmm. And then you're highlighting directly on top of that with the raised edges. So you pull out that X right there.
So Alex Kohler has a question about scars before we move on to doing the bruising. Mm-hmm. Could you use thick paint to paint scarified flesh and give it texture and depth for a model that doesn't have scars sculpted on it?
Yeah, you totally could.
Cool.
You'd want to use like a heavy body acrylic, which is like a really thick, heavily pigmented, like acrylic paint, or just use multiple layers of paint right out of the pot is another way to do it.
Cool. So the other thing that people would ask for was tattoos, but also I think I had some requests for bruises. So now we've only got like 10 minutes left on the stream. Are you going to knock out bruises or tattoos?
I'm going to try and do all three.
Well, you've done scars.
The bruises will take very little time. So bruises tend to be like a couple of different colors. They're just like blues and greens and purples. So we're going to take those three colors. We're going to put them on my palette. And we're going to make a little bit of a glaze out of each one.
So which colors are you using to make this glaze?
So this is Ordic Olive, Sanguine Highlight, and Exile Blue is what I grabbed.
Okay.
And you can use like other colors that are similar to this, but
Surprised Tony's not getting those colors up there.
Well, I got a question from Gornis78. Said, while you're on the palette, he wants to know what kind of paper you use for your wet palette, which I know we talked a little bit about before.
so normally, this is a Masterson wet palette, and I normally use the paper that comes with it, and the refills that they have, which are they have like special paper that's designed specifically for their wet palettes, and that's like special paper that's like really like very fibrous and it absorbs water really well. This is just parchment paper, which is totally adequate for wet palettes as well. This is just what I had on hand. I'm not using Bad Bruise because I don't have it here. You could definitely replace the Exile Blue with Bad Bruise.
You're using Ordic Olive, Exile Blue, and
Sanguine Highlight.
Sanguine Highlight. Okay.
So we want to do thin layers of this glaze to kind of build up this color, because it's just basically discoloration of the skin, right? So I'm going to let that dry for a second. And while we let that dry, I'm going to start on this tattoo on the back. I'm going to do this on his back or his shoulder.
You're like a chef right now. You're like, I'm going to get this started, put that in the oven, then we move on to this other thing, do a little prep work over here.
I mean,
so
painting's like cooking.
I like the Lola, the like I Heart Lola tattoo idea.
Like even a heart with the word Lola in it and an arrow through it, right?
Yeah, I think that's the current game plan. I'm trying to find a good place to put this that's easily visible. Let's do it on his shoulder. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to freehand this heart.
And what color is this?
This is Scorn Red.
Scorn Red.
For that classic red heart.
Yup. So I'm starting with one half of the heart.
Nice. Nice.
And then I'm going to go back for the other half. Oop, you can't even see that. Sorry, the angle that I'm painting at is not a good angle for visibility. So I'm going to try and do...
Yeah. Trying to not only get the technique right, but also be able to show people as you do it.
Yeah.
And there just happens to be a giant axe in the way.
Yep.
That happens. My God. He just did that with a paintbrush. Like just straight up made a heart.
Off axis or off angle.
Off angle. Yeah, but can you get the words Lola in there and an arrow going through it?
So we're not quite done yet. Hold
I
on.
know. I'm saying
mixing a little bit of the skin tone into this red. And I'm going to use this to highlight the heart.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Because I want it to look faded, right? So using the skin tone.
Makes it look like that tattoo has been around for a while.
Yep.
It's seen a few summers down at
Seen just a few summers.
a few summers down at the beach.
Yeah, so see that looks a lot more faded now. So we're going to let that dry. We're going to go back to this bruise here on his belly. You can maybe see a little bit of this discoloration here that I started with that sanguine highlight. So we're going to go in with this blue. And we're going to get that glaze going on.
Idiot Sage says, this model looks so cool. Can't wait to see the crocodile. Idiot Sage, if you're talking about Captain Crawtooth, then you can go to Privateer Press Prime on YouTube or on Twitch and watch yesterday's broadcast of the Dev Hangout. And during that broadcast, we do show off the models for Orsus the Chained, Captain Crawtooth, and Wolf with No Name.
Yep. Also, when you put down the paint and it made that perfect circle on his belly, like that looked crazy, like a fresh bruise. Like, yeah, right there. Like it has this moment as the paint is sort of spreading that it looks like a bruise that is forming. And then obviously you have to dry it out.
Yeah, you just want to do multiple layers.
Oh yeah, for sure. It looks like somebody made the mistake of punching him in the stomach.
Yeah.
You should have gone for the head.
Somebody tried
That's
to
what
sucker punch
regret
him.
looks like.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to move back over to the Lola tattoo. And for this, I don't like to use black for like black tattoos on models.
Okay.
I like to use coal black instead.
Real fast, Dragon Pup wants to know how heavily watered down is the bad bruise there, or the color you were using? Because I know you
It's
were
super watered down.
Super watered down.
It's like 10-1.
Yeah.
If not more. And I am adding a little bit of Thamar to that coal black because it's pretty dark.
Okay, so coal black and a little Thamar black.
Yep. And then I'm adding a little bit of the skin tone
Nice.
right there. Right. All right.
And now you're gonna. This is where you write the word Lola.
Yep.
Oh man, I'm ready. No pressure. See, to me, this is nerve wracking. Like, how do you even paint something that small? I managed to paint like somebody's eyes white, and I'm like, I'm a god.
So Jordan's going to have to paint, and then we'll have to reveal it. And I was going to say, like, we could narrate from over here, but his hand is actually blocking our POV. So it's going to be a surprise for everyone. No one can see this except for Jordan. And
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I'm doing the arrow first.
No, I'm doing it in cursive.
Oh,
Whoa! Whoa! So I would like to point out that right now what's happening is Jordan's doing an amazing job. But this is one of the reasons why you want a brush that has a really good tip. And Jordan, correct me if I'm wrong, you're using a number 1 brush?
Yep.
So this is not a tiny brush. This is the same brush that Jordan paints, does most of his painting with. So base coats, highlights, shades, and fine detail work. So rather than having, like, you don't need 20 brushes that all step down to like the most minute of sizes. You just need a good brush with a good tip. And a lot of practice.
I'm sorry. I'm watching someone paint cursive onto a model. Striker 911 says, "Can you not show off so hard?" I agree.
You guys asked me to do it.
Yeah, but we
You
expected it
asked
to
me
be
to.
like, the thing you'd ask for off the wall.
So just for scale, Jordan. Oh, I guess it is kind of there. I was going to have you throw up your thumbnail just to show exactly remind people how small this is.
No, you just keep being amazing at what you're doing. That's fine. Dragon Pup says cursive only 80s kids will understand. Well, I got a newsflash for you. Jordan just turned 16 yesterday. So I don't even actually know how you know cursive, Jordan.
Keeping the tradition
Hey, man,
alive.
I learned when I was a kid. All right.
They still teach cursive?
I don't know if they
don't
still
know.
teach cursive,
I mean,
but I learned like like 15, 16 years ago.
When you were in elementary school?
Yeah.
Dude, that was 8 years ago.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No, it was not.
That was 8 years ago.
I'm not 16. I'm definitely not 16. All right, so there's your tattoo.
That looks amazing. Are you doing an arrow through it, or are you leaving it like right there?
I mean, I could.
It's up to you. I mean, it's your. Are you happy with it?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
I think it looks dope.
So we're gonna keep that like that. We're going
Oh,
back
that
to this
bruise is really looking bruised. The bruise is looking really tender right now.
Yeah, I'm
So-
taking a little bit of this green in here.
One of the things I love about watching you paint these bruises, it's very exciting to me because you're just kind of, it's one of those whatever things, right? Like it's targeted, you're kind of going around, but it's not fill this space or draw this design. It's just kind of splotching it in and
how-
letting some of that randomness help out.
Look how good it looks. Striker on Twitch says, we asked for letters, not cursive. You're just flexing on all of Facebook and Twitch chat and soon to YouTube. Yeah, well, when you've got skills like that, how could you not flex? Right? It's just Jordan's just doing what he should do. And Vanderby says, how do you know cursive but you don't know King Hippo? You're right, Vanderby. They're not teaching the right things these days.
Don't ask questions you don't want the answers to. That's my answer.
Several other people, Alec M. Luda and others, are saying that your tattoo looks amazing.
Thank you.
And it does. And your bruise now looks really gnarly.
It's disgusting.
It almost looks kind of open, like the skin cracked.
Rabbit Monkey wants to know if you can post some close-up photos later. Rabbit Monkey, I'm going to try and do you one better.
Oh. You gonna walk away from the control panel, Tony?
I am.
Does that mean I can press buttons?
Don't shut it down.
I won't shut it down, and I'm just gonna hit things, okay? Oh. Whoa, Tony.
So once you've got that like bruise color down, you can kind of like blend some of the skin tone back over it, and it kind of looks like a partially healed bruise.
Very nice. Is that your close-up there, Tony?
That's as close as we can get.
All right. It's very close. Jordan, can you rotate the model slightly with this super close-up we have and see if we, just so we can show the tattoo off a little bit closer?
Yeah, of course.
La, 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 Lola. Yeah. Lola. Na, 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 na. Looks super dope.
So there's that tattoo. And this is the normal angle that I would paint it from. Just like here.
Yeah, that bruise looks so gnarly. Ugh. Whoever hit him in the stomach hit him real hard.
Just once, though. Never again.
Never again. They got one good lick in. Maybe gubbing threw a bomb at him, and that's like a scorch mark / bruise from the bomb going off right next to his belly.
Oh, Zulamon says it was Bam Fist.
Oh, yeah. Bamfist gave him a good tap in the gut. And then Bamfist lost all of his parts. But nobody dies in Riot Quest. They get knocked out because it's a Saturday morning cartoon. So I don't want to say it goes full G.I. Joe or everyone misses. Clearly people get hit in the nugget.
Yeah, people definitely get hit.
I imagine maybe Butchers just sort of backhanded him with the axe and sent Bamfist flying, and he landed in a trash pile with little birds chirping
There's
over his head.
little stars and birds.
Yeah.
Definitely that. So it almost looks like a line of sausages laid along his belly there.
He's saving them for later.
Or leeches. I don't know why that popped in my head.
I don't know why either.
I got all these leeches on my belly, and they're going to hang out right there. I'm trying to think of what the pun the Butcher would say after he punched Bamfist so hard that he sent him flying. Oh, that's what it is. In the cartoon, he only ever punches people with the fist. Mm-hmm. And the axe he uses, he'll break down doors and he'll break down. But, you know, when he swings the axe at someone, he never hits them with the axe. They always duck out of the way. But he does hit people, just always with the fist.
Okay.
So that's how you fit a character like this wearing skulls in their pants with a giant axe.
I always forget that people
destroys
can't
lots
see
of inanimate
half of what I'm doing
objects with the
sometimes.
axe.
Yeah, you got to go He-Man style, right?
Yeah.
He-Man had a sword and he swung it all the time, but he would blow up robots and doors and stuff. But when he hit someone, you saw contact occur.
Yeah,
it was always with his hands.
Yeah,
and I think you definitely got to do that with Butcher.
Yeah, the sword was mostly a showpiece, just to show people how badass he was.
Yeah,
and
also
it required the actual.
I was also to give him the power, which he had.
You had to show it off. You had to pull it.
Yeah,
pull it all.
Shink.
Just adding some highlights here with Rin Flesh.
Dig it.
I know what I'm talking about. I just need to get you on board.
I'm always on board, Tony. Jordan, we are
it
almost
looks like
at
we are
time, man.
Basically out of time. We're definitely out of time. So we've gone through, we've done the bruise, we've done the scratch on his belly.
Is the skin done in your opinion?
Scar. No, definitely not. I would say his belly's pretty close. It needs some more highlighting, maybe some more adjustments for shadow. His face is definitely not done.
Sure.
But like definitely, this shoulder's looking pretty okay. Like you can see it's a little splotchy here, and his hand's not done, and this shoulder's a little bit of a mess, but especially from this angle. But
I still think people learned a lot by watching you do the scar, doing the foundation of the flesh, then doing the scar, doing the bruise, and doing the tattoo. Like that's a lot of really good techniques for flesh there.
yeah, the nice thing about adding like all of this in here is it's a good way to add character to the model, right? Like everybody's butcher is going to look like this, but not everybody's butcher is going to have, you know, a bruise on his belly from getting punched by Bamfist.
Yeah.
Or have a sweet tat of Lola on his shoulder, right? Like,
Make it your own.
make it your own. Have fun with it. Might do a koi fish on his face. We'll see. I like the idea of super tatted up.
Super tatted up, like Yakuza style butcher.
I might do his left arm in the sleeve.
Well, before we get out of here, thanks everybody for watching. One more reminder that just in case you missed it, we did turn subs on at the start of this earlier this week. So subscriptions are now available to the channel. You do earn yourself some sweet subscriber badge and emojis, and we'll be adding more. We get 6 slots to start, and we'll add more slots as we get more subs. And we're going to do cool stuff for subs. So if you're on Twitch, hit us up. It is September. You do get half-price subs till the 24th, and we would greatly appreciate it. We love you, and we love all the support you show and all the love you show.
Thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you guys next week. Not next week, the week after next
Not
week.
next week. I got
Not
to
next
say that
week.
very, very loudly. We are not on
Not-
next week with no streaming.
Yes. Not next week. Definitely not next week.
But join us tomorrow for the Hobby Hangout.
Hobby Hangout.
Danny
Brian
Samuels
McLaughlin.
has already been ousted as the host after only 2 shows.
Yes, he's been demoted to guest.
Yeah, he's now a guest on the show he started as Brian McLaughlin shows us how to do some cool stuff.
Seems like a Danny thing.
All right, take us out, Jordan.
Oh, I thought we were out. Darn it.
No, man, you got to tell everybody bye.
Thanks, everybody, for showing up today. It was a pleasure painting this model. I'm really excited to work on the Studio One. And I will see you guys in a couple weeks. I'm not sure with what yet, but we will figure it out.
This could look all different.
It could look yeah, it could be like totally different. I mean, it'll still be us, but it may look different. So be excited. I'm excited. Hungerford's excited. Tony's excited.
Woo!
Woo! And we'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Woo!
Why?
Woo!